Jeff and I often talk about how great that first scene in the first movie is when Sonic is on the baseball field as a character study for film, because I get to be goofy. I play like 7 different characters to show that he's goofy and he has fun. He finally gets to play sports. And then that moment of not getting the high five and him feeling lonely. And like you get to see so much of a scope of who this is at the beginning, the first act of the movie. And then he goes so fast that we see his power for the first time. And I think that is one of my favorite scenes in anything.
We just knew how important it was to get Shadow right. He's such a popular character. I mean, I have so much history with him. Going back to 2004, I worked on the Shadow the Hedgehog standalone game, which was, the game that he got after his debut in Sonic Adventure 2. No, it's just such a compelling character and such a great addition to these movies. It just gave us a whole new sort of tone, and it just gave us such great material. And so, no, we had nothing but the utmost respect for Shadow and his story, and just wanted to give the fans a really great movie version.
How's your day going today, Ben?
Good, brother. We're ready to go. I'm very excited. By the way, I never get to have 2 people at the same time. I cannot wait to see what this interview is like.
Well, happy to be your first threesome, always.
Great. Thank you.
We just wanted to say, we're such huge fans of yours all the way back from the college humor days to, of course, Parks and Rec as well. And now seeing you as Sonic is just the best thing ever. And, after 3 films, I'm just so curious, what is it you keep learning about Sonic after playing him so many times?
Yes. Have you seen this one or not yet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So there's some darker themes in this one. If you guys are video game nerds like I am, Shadow comes with a lot of history, a lot of darkness. There is a revenge storyline. So it's like, I get to play I feel like Sonic is like maturing a little bit, right? He's like, with his audience, he's maturing a little bit while always being Sonic and being family friendly, but like hitting bigger themes. So the more we add people to like change our whole dynamic, the more that it's so exciting. And me being able to play some scenes where like Sonic gets like upset, like angry, like rageful, and teaching kids how to deal with that rage and learning how to make mistakes and learning from those mistakes and stuff like that. Kids and adults, there's also a theme that he has to ask for help. He's not good at asking for help or telling, and I'm very bad at that as well. I don't want to bother people. It's a very Canadian attribute, but I don't like to bother people. I like to be as kind as I can, and it took a bit for me to learn how to, when I need help, to ask. So that's in here as well. So I think we're hitting themes that can kind of just like do the whole scope of different ages.
Yeah, and we've loved seeing how Sonic has evolved over these 3 films. And you mentioned obviously us being Canadian as well. We have to talk about the 2 Canadian legends that you get to work with in this film, with Keanu Reeves and Jim Carrey. What was it like working with them on this film?
It's incredible. I mean, they would not shut up about Tim Hortons. Do you know what I mean? No, okay. They're incredible. I get to hang out with them during press. So yesterday, oh my God, we did press for like a big Canadian outlet. And I was next to Keanu and I just met him. And I was like, I wonder if I could do bits with this guy. And I said and they asked Keanu a question, they asked me, and I go, I'm so sorry. Let me start by saying I love Canada. I don't know why Keanu hasn't said it yet. That's insane. It seems to me that he doesn't, or else he would have said it. But I love Canada. And so he was down to play and do bits. These guys are so kind and heart forward and loving. And I feel so lucky. You guys are younger than me, but we're kind of the same love of comedy. You're talking about an icon in Jim Carrey who taught me how to be funny. And Bill and Ted's was huge when I was a kid. And The Matrix for all of us meant the universe. And now he has another franchise with John Wick. And now he gets to jump on this. And it's like, I feel so lucky that he's around.
Keanu's the perfect Sonic. So perfect Shadow. Sorry.
Perfect.
Perfect Shadow.
You're trying to give him my job? Yeah. You're giving me my job immediately?
No,
sorry.
Sorry. It's all good. We'll let you keep it.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
There's so many amazing moments from all 3 films, but now that we're finally coming out with this 3rd one, what would you say is your favorite moment from the trilogy?
Jeff and I often talk about how great that first scene in the first movie is when Sonic is on the baseball field as a character study for film, because I get to be goofy. I play like 7 different characters to show that he's goofy and he has fun. He finally gets to play sports. And then that moment of not getting the high five and him feeling lonely. And like you get to see so much of a scope of who this is at the beginning, the first act of the movie. And then he goes so fast that we see his power for the first time. And I think that is one of my favorite scenes in anything. Also, the first act in this movie is monumentally huge. That when they first meet Shadow and stuff goes down, it's like 10 minutes of nonstop action.
I love that. Ben, we're so grateful for your time. We really hope we get to talk to you again with a bit longer of a run time. But again, you're so great in this series, and we love you and everything. So just thank you and all the best to you.
Thank you. I love Toronto. I play Massey Hall, one of my favorite venues I've ever played in my entire life. I love going over there. So I hope to get over there again.
Definitely. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Nice to see you.
Hey, Jeff, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are doing so well. I'm Daniel. This is Shay. We actually were in Brazil over the weekend for CCXP, and that was one of the craziest experiences that we've ever been part of, and they just love Sonic there. So that was amazing to be part of.
No, we had a great time down there. It is a very cool Comic-Con. I go to San Diego Comic-Con just about every year, so it was so cool to experience almost the same level of fan energy in another country. And no, we could not have had a better experience.
We love to hear that. Quick question, like right out the gate, Shadow is such a beloved character throughout, the history of Sonic. And I think you guys just absolutely nailed it with his origin and bringing that to screen. What was that like for you guys when you were in the conceptual process of that and making sure you wanted to get it right? Because that's a big one.
Oh, yeah. No, in fact, that was probably the first sequences we storyboarded. I mean, we just knew how important it was to get Shadow right. He's such a popular character. I mean, I have so much history with him. Going back to 2004, I worked on the Shadow the Hedgehog standalone game, which was, the game that he got after his debut in Sonic Adventure 2. No, it's just such a compelling character and such a great addition to these movies. It just gave us a whole new sort of tone, and it just gave us such great material. And so, no, we had nothing but the utmost respect for Shadow and his story, and just wanted to give the fans a really great movie version.
Definitely, and especially having Keanu come into voice, which was just perfect.
Unbelievable. I mean, he was the first and only name on the list. We just... we loved the idea. We knew fans would love the idea, and so when he said yes, it was an amazing day.
An absolute Canadian legend. We love that. Something that we also loved so much is getting the opportunity to see the ugly Sonic sweater that you guys
Yes.
have been showing off. We're really curious, though, what was your reaction to when you first saw him in the Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie that came out a couple of years ago?
You know what? I was actually doing press. It was an interview, not unlike the one we're doing right now, and the journalist knew of it before I did and asked me if I had heard about it. So I was literally, it was on camera, so you can go watch it if you want. But it was like, I thought it was hilarious. It was a great idea. No, look, I think we can all, none of us take ourselves too seriously. I thought that was a really fun idea, and I give him props.
We love that. We've had an incredible trilogy of Sonic films. We've had a series now. What are you hoping comes next for the future of Team Sonic?
I think you can get a little a glimpse of that just based on the characters we've teased at the end of this third film. We're always very specific and purposeful about who we're bringing in, and it's usually because we're excited by where that's going to take the story. You don't want to just commit yourself to a character or to an idea without knowing where you're going to go in the next moment. And so we've always chosen our teases, our character teases, very intentionally, because it means that it's going to allow these movies and these stories to go in a direction that we have some really great ideas about.
Now, Jeff, what was that first video game for you that really made you kind of fall in love with video games?
This is going to show how old I am, but ColecoVision, which is like early 80s, there was like Atari and ColecoVision. There was a game called Zaxxon, which was just like a little sci-fi little spaceship game, and you were just sort of like, it was a shooter, but it was, I loved it. It was a bunch of ColecoVision games. There was Venture and Smurfs and all these things, but I loved them all. I was hooked from a very early age, and I've been playing video games ever since.
Love that.
Love that so much. Jeff, thank you so much for your time again. We absolutely adored this film, and we're so excited to see more Sonic hopefully in the future. And we hope we can talk to you again also as well.
Awesome. Sounds great. Nice meeting you guys, and appreciate the support.